And we have some good news about us, about this news show. Starting next week, our news show, The Record, moves to 4 p.m. Eastern. And it's the perfect time for this news show and for any news show, since each day at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 big news events occur. The stock markets close, court ends for the day, and congressional hearings pretty much turn off the lights at 4 p.m. Eastern, too. That means this show at 4 p.m. Eastern will be at the tip of the completion of most of the major news of the day in the market, the court, and Congress. This allows me to do more of what I love, reporting the news that just happened and then explaining it. So what happens in this time slot at 6 p.m. Eastern? My very good friend Carl Higbie will take over this time slot. And you all know Carl. He will, as only Carl can, captivate you with his thoughts and opinions of the day's news. My colleague Chris Salcedo, who refers to himself as a liberty-loving Latino, moves into Carl's spot at 5 p.m. Eastern. So beginning at 6 p.m. Eastern, right after I sign off at 4:59 p.m., you have an action-packed block of opinion shows. Chris at 5 p.m. and Carl at 6 p.m. I know you're going to like this. And on a personal note, it does fulfill what I wanted to do here at Newsmax when I first sat down with Newsmax more than 3.5 years ago to discuss joining the network. But as it all shook out 3.5 years ago, I got the 6 p.m. Eastern slot. Don't get me wrong. I have immensely enjoyed this 6 p.m. hour, reporting from or doing reports from Ukraine, Israel, Poland, Ecuador, Colombia, and I've had so many interesting guests and powerful people, including senators, members of Congress. But remember, those senators and members of Congress often need to pre-tape because they have to run to the airport at 5:30 or they have to go to a dinner. But now, with my show at 4 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to get those senators and members of Congress live before they run off to the airport or dinner. Frankly, if you talk to anyone in the news business, they'll tell you doing live interviews are much more fun than taped interviews. There's another plus to this change for me. Newsmax has just built me a brand new home studio, and I thank them for that. So by finishing my 4 p.m. show at 5 p.m., I now get to go home to do hits during the evening hours as news breaks and as needed. This was harder when I was driving home in D.C. traffic when I got off this show at 7 p.m. Eastern. So I'm excited about the change. It's a new challenge. I hope you watch and enjoy your evening. Rob Schmidt Tonight is up next.